more I did conscious breathing practices, whether that was in a physical yoga practice or in a meditation or as a thing on its own, or just being aware of my breath while I was at work or operating my business, I felt like I was making better decisions, making more clear decisions, and just feeling more clear-headed and better in general, just having more vitality, more life force.
Mm-hmm.
So I continued with that. And then it was in the yoga teacher training, while I was taking that teacher training, one day on my Facebook feed, this clip popped up of Wim Hof. It was someone reposting the Vice documentary that was on
Yeah.
him. And I watched that, and it blew my mind. I'd never seen somebody do that before, like dive into ice water consciously and say that this was a righteous thing to do and a healthy thing to do. I'm Italian, as you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been cold adverse all my life.
Oh yeah.
I hated it. I hated the cold. I had no idea why my ancestors moved here. We could have been in California making wine, but we came here instead.
Yeah.
So I was totally cold averse, and I watched this documentary and saw him diving under ice water and guiding other people into cold situations and guiding people through the breath work and hearing all these anecdotal stories and being pretty inspired, a little skeptical, but also really inspired by it and thinking, okay, well, maybe there's something here, because I live in Canada and there's this season that we have every year that's really
Yeah.
difficult. And maybe this could be of a little help. Maybe if I could use something that helps me improve my cold tolerance, I can enjoy the winter more, because I'm not a skier and I'm not a snowboarder and I don't play hockey. So all those Canadian winter things are a little lost on me.
Mm.
But I thought maybe there's something here. And I love the way Wim talk. He just is such a passionate guy. Listening to him speak is so inspirational. And sometimes you just need to hear something very strongly and clearly from someone to believe it. So I thought maybe he's nuts, but maybe there's something to it, and I wanted to try it out. So it was that documentary that got me interested, and then I started checking his stuff out more online. And then it was just kind of the dawning of the Wim Hof age. Like, that Vice documentary really put him on the map.
Yeah.
And from there, the podcast circuit happened, and that's when I heard him on Joe Rogan's podcast. The very first one, it's like the first time he was on, the very first thing they do is Wim teaches Joe how to do the breathing technique live on the podcast.
Oh, wow.
So I did it along with them while they were doing it, and then found myself sitting in this exhale retention for a really long time, like almost a couple of minutes. And I had never felt anything like that, being able to sit comfortably for almost 2 minutes with no air in my lungs and not breathing at all, and it feeling like a different kind of space. I had explored all these other breath spaces that you kind of get into through the yogic techniques or pranayama, but this felt very different. And the sense of presence was really strong in that exhale retention. I just felt extremely present and really grounded and really open, and it felt great. So that inspired me to keep trying it. And I eventually went to one of his workshops, which is where I did my first ice bath. That was probably 3 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And had my first ice bath with a big group of people. And it was a relatively quick one. We were probably in there for about 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But that was enough to show me that, hey, this thing that I've been avoiding, the cold, for all my life, that I have so much resistance to and so much fear and angst towards, can actually be a fun thing. Like, hey, here we are hanging out with this group of people. We're getting in cold water together, and this is enjoyable. And I felt better after than I did before. And breathing in that group atmosphere felt really good. So that sold me on it, which led me to take his online courses, of which there's several now. There's at least 3 online courses that he offers on his website, WimHofMethod.com, which I definitely recommend anybody interested in Wim Hof go to his website, because it's all there, everything from online courses to all the scientific papers on all the studies that have been done on them, to links to all the instructors that are in your area, because there's a whole bunch of instructors around the GTA that are all wonderful people. So links to all of them and all the upcoming events. That's the place to go.